Students, today we will see location of roots, mainly for quadratic equations. See, location of roots means to say whether the roots are lying between 2 and 5, or one root is less than 2, other is greater than 5. Both roots are positive, both are negative, one root is positive, other is negative, like these things. Means position of roots on the number line. So we will relate different conditions for location through the coefficients which are ABC in the equation ax square plus bx plus c. See, we write the quadratic equation as f of x equal to ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay. Now we will consider different cases. The first one, means say that both roots are smaller than a number k. Suppose it is given that both roots are less than 3, so k will be 3. So what we have to do if both roots are less than k? First of all, first condition is d greater than or equal to 0. For roots to lie on number line, whether it is greater than some number or smaller than some number, those must be real. Why equality sign? Yeah. Both roots can be equal, less than k. So this condition is very much important and it is applicable everywhere whenever we talk about location of roots. The second condition is, see, what is k? Outside the roots. And if you recall the sign scheme, the sign of quadratic expression is same as coefficient of x square. Outside the roots and in between the roots, the sign of quadratic expression is opposite to the sign of coefficient of x square. So if we means f of k, that is a into ak square plus bk plus c. Can we tell whether this is a positive or negative? Yeah. K is outside the root. So the sign of f of k means sign of the expression at x equal to k will be same as a. So multiplying these two numbers of same sign, we will have greater than 0. So these two conditions are sufficient? No. If k is here, then also this condition are met. The thing is, third condition is, k greater than minus b by 2a. What is alpha plus beta? Minus b by a. So what is alpha plus beta by 2 minus b by 2a? Now alpha plus beta by 2 will lie between alpha and beta. So if the two roots are less than k, then k has to be greater than alpha plus beta by 2. So instead of writing alpha plus beta by 2, we work in terms of coefficient. So it is, we have written minus b by 2a. Okay. Now, a special case is, for both roots negative, put k equal to 0. Fine. If k is equal to 0 and both roots are less than k, means less than 0, so we can write this case as also as both roots negative. Now second, d greater than or equal to 0, condition B, a into f of k, and now I will not write a k square plus bk plus c. F of k means put x equal to k over here, greater than 0, c, k is less than alpha plus beta by 2. For both positive roots, put k equal to 0. It is a special case. Both roots are greater than k. So if we take k as 0, then we will solve for both roots are positive. Now, third case. You can see it as one root is smaller than k and other is larger than k, greater than k. Then what condition we impose? D greater than 0. Remember, we have not put equality sign over there, but here, because if one root is smaller than k and other root is greater than k, then both roots cannot be equal. So here d cannot be, discriminant cannot be equal to 0. Now condition B, what is a into f of k? A into f of k, positive or negative? A into f of k. In between the roots, the sign is opposite to a. So f of k will have sign opposite to a. So what will be the sign of this product? Product of two numbers of opposite sign, less than 0. Now, can we relate k by greater than or less than? No, because k is whether left of midpoint or right of midpoint. We don't know. So these two conditions are sufficient. Remember, whatever condition we are imposing, these all are necessary. In first two cases, all the three conditions are necessary. In third case, this is enough. Well, there are some cases, there might be some cases where we don't have to check the condition on D, but for now, every time you practice like, okay, D is greater than 0 or D is greater than or equal to 0, because you will get confused. So for now, just check the condition for discriminant everywhere for real roots. We will see examples. Now, next case is okay, here for roots of opposite sign, put k equal to 0. Why? One root will be less than 0, other will be greater than 0. So k equal to 0 will lead us to the special case, which is roots, which can be said as roots of opposite signs. Now in this case, one root is smaller than k1, other root is greater than k2. Means we can say that one root is smaller than 5 and other root is greater than 8, like this. Okay. So let us define the condition. What is the condition on discriminant? Can the two roots be equal? No. So greater than 0. What is condition B? A into f of k1. K1 is in between the roots, less than 0. What is condition C? A into f of k2. K2 is also in between the roots. Okay? Any other condition you suggest? See, one root is smaller than k1, other is greater than k2. Means k1, k2 are both in between the roots. That is sufficient from B and C conditions. A is for real root condition, it will be everywhere. D greater than 0 or D greater than or equal to 0 is nothing but real roots condition. Means both roots lying in say minus 1 comma 7, lying in the interval minus 1 comma 7. We can say like that alpha and beta are the roots, both are lying between k1 and k2. So just impose the conditions. D greater than or equal to 0. Why? Both roots can be same between k1 and k2. What is A into f of k1? K1 and k2 are outside the root. Sign will be same as A. A into f of k2. Greater than 0. And one more condition is there. K1 less than minus b by 2a and minus b by 2a is less than k2. K1 less than minus b by 2a. Minus b by 2a is what? Midpoint. See, one thing I want to clear. A student asked me, sir, why you are taking a midpoint of alpha and beta between alpha plus beta by 2 while writing minus b by 2a? If we take any point in between alpha and beta, that will be okay. I said yes. So why not alpha plus beta by 3? He asked. we can think that alpha plus beta by 2 is always between alpha and beta. But do you think that alpha plus beta by 3 is always between alpha and beta? Is it so? No. You can think. Suppose alpha is 5, beta is 7. So it is 4, not between 5 and 7. And yes, if we choose numbers like 2 alpha plus beta by 3, it is somewhere between alpha and beta. But the problem is how we can relate it with the coefficients, means a, b, c. This is not a symmetric function. Okay, that's why we choose number like this minus b by 2a. Fine. And yes, whenever you come across questions for location of roots, plot this on the number line. Plot this on the number line, then you will immediately realize that which case it is. And one more thing, these are not options which is correct or which are not correct like this. Don't think that I am writing ABC or ABCD, so you have to give the correct option. No, nothing like that. These are the conditions which are necessary. All conditions are necessary in every case. Fine. Now, there may be cases like various cases. Alpha like this. What we call one root is smaller than 2, other is greater than 2, but less than 5. One root is smaller than 2, other is greater than 2, but less than 5, like this. So when you plot the condition, the question on the number line, you will realize how to proceed. Now impose conditions. What about D? Greater than 0 or greater than or equal to 0? Greater than 0, because one root is less than k1, other is greater than k1. Fine. So, the next condition, what is a into f of k1? K1 is in between the roots, less than 0. What is a into f of k2? Greater than 0, k2 is outside the roots. And one more condition is k2 greater than minus b by 2a. Okay. Next, there can be like means think of a case like one root is greater than 5 but less than 7. One root is greater than 5 but less than 7 and other root is greater than 7. One root in 5 comma 7 in the interval 5 comma 7 and other is greater than 7. Here we can say that one root is in k1 k2 and other is less than k1, isn't it? Here other is greater than K2, like this. So how to impose conditions? D greater than 0, A into f of K1, K1 is outside, greater than 0, A into f of K2 is inside, less than 0, and what about minus B by 2A condition? K1 less than minus B by 2A. So when you plot the situation on the number line according to the question, you will immediately realize which is the case and how to proceed. Okay? Now, combining 6 and 7 cases, there can be a terminology like only one root is lying in the interval K1 comma K2. Means only one root is lying in the interval 7 comma 10. So one root is in 7 comma 10. Okay. Now, other root can be greater than 10 or other root can be less than 7. So if we combine both 6 and 7 cases, we will arrive at the wording that only one root is lying in the interval K1 comma K2. Okay. If f of K1 into f of K2 less than 0, I am combining 6 and 7 for this case, then if f of K1 into f of K2 less than 0, then exactly one root of f of x equal to 0 is lying in the interval K1 comma K2. See, the wording is exactly one root means these two cases can happen, and this is the just sufficient condition. If f of K1 and f of K2 are of opposite sign, then exactly one root is between alpha and between K1 and K2. Now, point 9. It is a continuity theorem. Means suppose a function is continuous and at some point its value is minus 6 and at some point its value is 7. Continuous means the function is moving from the value minus 5 to 7. Continuous means no break in graph. It means it is crossing x-axis somewhere. If it is crossing x-axis somewhere, means there is a root while going from negative to positive. 0 is in between. So we can use this fact for, though it is true for any continuous function, and polynomial functions are continuous everywhere. So we can say that for any degree polynomial equations, see up to 8 for quadratic. Now point 9 is for any degree, valid for any degree. For any degree polynomial equation, P of x equal to 0, if P of K1 into P of K2 less than 0, then there is at least one root of P of x equal to 0 lying in the interval K1 comma K2. See, here we have written exactly one root, but here at least one root. Because exactly one root we have written, a quadratic can have only two roots. At least one real root. Suppose a higher degree polynomial, it can have 5 roots, 6 roots, or whatever. If P of K1 into P of K2 is less than 0, means negative, then we know that there is at least one real root in between K1 and K2. But exact number of real roots, this continuity theorem does not tell us. We can say, okay, there will be a root, but whether there is a 3 root, 5 root, 4 root, 6 roots, no. At least one root should be there. Now, next point is, which is nothing but Rolle's theorem. And Rolle's theorem is applicable for every continuous and differentiable function, and here for polynomial functions, as they are continuous and differentiable. So, if P of K1 is equal to P of K2, then the polynomial equation P of x, P dash x equal to 0 has a root in the interval K1 comma K2. K1 comma K2. Okay, this is the 10th point, which is Rolle's theorem actually it is, and we are applying in case of polynomials. Now, we will go through some examples of these cases. Okay? Let's have an example. Find the values of A for which both roots of the equation A plus 1x square minus 3ax plus 4a equal to 0 are greater than 1. Okay. Now see, first of all, our first step should be plot the situation on the number line. Both roots are greater than 1. Both roots are greater than 1. Means like this. Now, we can have conditions like what? First of all, D greater than or equal to 0 means 9a square minus 4a plus 1 into 4a greater than equal to 0. Can we solve? 9a square minus 16a into a plus 1 minus 7a square minus 16a greater than or equal to 0. Seven a square plus 16a less than equal to 0. We have to use sign scheme for this. For this, it is a expression in A. We will write roots as minus 16 by 7 and 0, positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive. We need negative means like this. See, this is only first condition we have solved. What is the next condition? A into f of k should be greater than 0. Next case is A into f of k. So in place of A, here it is A plus 1 coefficient of x square. F of 1 is what? Outside the roots greater than 0. A plus 1, and what is f of 1? Put x equal to 1. It is a plus 1 minus 3a, means 2a plus 1 greater than 0. Again we have to apply the sign scheme. Minus 1 by 2, minus 1 and minus 1 by 2. Positive, negative, positive. Okay. So, we need positive. Now, what is the next condition? K less than minus b by 2a. So k is 1 less than minus b by 2a. Minus b means 3a by 2a plus 1. This implies 3a by 2a plus 1 minus 1 greater than 0. A minus 2 by a plus 1, 2 into a plus 1, 0. Isn't it? So now we can apply Weaver method, minus 1 and 2, positive, negative, positive. We need positive values like this. So no any other condition required apart from these three in this case. So for our final answer, as we were saying that all these conditions are necessary, so we will find common to all these. Fine. So for final answer, we write all on a single number line. It is minus 16 by 7 minus 1 by 2, 0 and 2. From first condition, minus 16 by 7 to 0. From second condition up to minus 1 and minus after minus half, and from third up to minus 1 and from 2. So can we see common in all these three? Yeah, this portion. Therefore, A belongs to minus 16 by 7 comma minus 1. This way we have to do. Now another example. Find the values of A for which 6 lies between the roots of the equation x square plus 2 into a minus 3x plus 9 equal to 0. Now, 6 lies between root means one root is smaller than 6, other is greater than 6. So, if we plot this on number line, 6 lies between the roots of the equation. Means like this. Here coefficient of x square, a is positive, fine. So what are the conditions? D greater than 0, D means 4 a minus 3 whole square minus 36 greater than 0. Minus 9 greater than 0. A square minus 6a greater than 0. Here 0, 6, positive, negative, positive. For greater than 0, this reason. Okay. Now, one more thing is there. What? A into f of 6. A into f of 6. A is 1 positive into f of 6 should be negative. So 1 into f of 6 less than 0 means what is f of 6? 36 plus 12a minus 3 plus 9 less than equal to 0. 12a plus 9 less than 0 or 4a plus 3 less than 0, a less than minus 3 by 4. A less than minus 3 by 4. So combine these two conditions for getting the final answer. Minus 3 by 4 is here. Minus 3 by 4. So what is the common to these two? Minus infinity to minus 3 by 4. This is our answer. See, here the checking condition for D is not necessary. That is included in this f of 6 less than 0. But as I have already said, do not think when to check the condition on discriminant, when to not. It will be clear. I will tell you after a while. But the thing is, for now, you have to check the condition for discriminant everywhere, greater than 0 and in some cases greater than or equal to 0. Let's write another example. If the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 has roots alpha and beta such that alpha less than minus 1 and beta greater than 1, then prove that 1 plus mod b by a plus c by a less than 0. See, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Roots are alpha and beta given. So tell me about the roots of this equation. Means this is nothing but this equation is obtained by dividing by a in the given equation, what will be the roots? Say alpha and beta. Okay. Because ratios of coefficients are same. Roots are same. Equation wise, these are same. So it is, say, f of x. Now, if we plot the case on the number line, -1, 1, alpha is less than -1 and beta is greater than 1. Okay. So, okay, d should be greater than 0 and like that. You immediately realize the case, isn't it? Now, what is the coefficient of x square in f of x? Positive. So, in between the roots, the sign is opposite to coefficient of x square, means negative. Here the coefficient is 1. So, f of -1 less than 0 or not, in between the roots the sign is opposite to a. F of -1 less than 0. And what is f of -1? 1 minus b by a plus c by a less than 0. And what about f of 1? 1 is also in between the roots. So, it is also opposite to a, means opposite to coefficient of x square, negative. And f of 1 is, see, can't we observe that whether it is plus b by a or minus b by a, this is less than 0. So, we can combine these two to write 1 plus mod b by a plus c by a less than 0. Because even if we remove modulus sign, there will be either plus or minus. In both cases, we have seen that is less than 0. Okay. Now, another example, find m such that the roots of the equation 2x square minus x minus 1 equal to 0 lie inside the roots of x square plus 2m minus m square x minus 2mq equal to 0. See, roots of 2x square minus x minus 1 equal to 0 are, tell me, 1 minus 1 by 2. Okay. Now, write f of x as 2m minus m square minus 2mq. The roots of this equation lie inside, say roots are alpha and beta, roots of this equation lie inside alpha and beta. Means what? Alpha, beta. Roots of this equation means 1 and minus 1 by 2 lie inside alpha and beta. So, it is minus 1 by 2, it is 1. Fine. First condition, d greater than 0 means 2m minus m square whole square plus 8m cube greater than 0. We can take m square common, 2 minus m whole square plus 8m cube. We can divide by m square also. Or we can take m square common. M square minus 4m plus 4 plus 8m greater than 0. Now what is this? M square plus 4m plus 4, and this is nothing but see, it is whole square. It has to be always greater than or equal to 0. But in this case, can d be equal to 0? No, because minus 1 by 2 and 1 has to lie in between alpha and beta. So, how alpha and beta can be same? They are distinct. This implies it is positive for every value except m minus 2r and 0. See, so from discriminant condition, we have every value of m except minus 2 and 0. Now, next condition is minus 1 by 2 is inside the root, in between the roots. So, what is f of minus 1 by 2? F of minus 1 by 2, coefficient of x square is positive. So, opposite to a 1 by 4 plus m square minus 2m by 2 minus 2m cube less than 0. This implies 1 plus 2m square minus 4m minus 8m cube less than 0 means 8m cube minus 2m square plus 4m minus 1 greater than 0. And 2m square we can factorize 4m minus 1 plus 4m minus 1. See, factorization is important over here because finding the roots, there is not any general formula like quadratic to find the roots of higher degree equations. Now, from here we will get 1 by 4 as root, and from here we are not getting any real root. So, sign scheme is just we write 1 by 4, positive, negative. Now, we need positive means like this. This reason we have obtained from f of minus 1 by 2 less than 0. The other condition is f of 1. 1 is also lying in between the roots. And what is f of 1? 1 plus 2m minus m square minus 2m cube less than 0, or 2m cube plus m square minus 2m minus 1 greater than 0. Greater than 0. Now, what are the roots? 1 and minus 1 from here, minus 1 by 2 from here, minus 1 by 2, 1. All are single time. Now, for our final answer, we have to write the common reason for all this. Okay? So, for final answer, we draw now a number line, minus 1 by 2, 1 by 4. From here greater than 1 by 4. From here in between and greater than 1. And also m should not be equal to minus 2 and 0. Okay, that is not in the common region also. So therefore, we can visualize the common region of m as this. M belongs to 1 comma infinity. Now this example. Find a for which both roots of x square minus 2x plus a square minus 1 lie in the interval 2 comma 4. Another part, also find for which exactly one root line 2 comma 4. Two questions are there. Here f of x is x square minus 2ax plus a square minus 1 equal to 0 is the root set. Now, the thing is, if we plot on the number line, okay, both root line 2 comma 4 means this condition. You remember the case? Fifth case. So f of 2 greater than 0, f of 4 greater than 0, like this always. Here, we can think of in other terms also. Okay. See, x square minus 2x plus a square minus 1 equal to 0. We can write it as x minus a whole square equal to 1. So, we can find the exact roots are as what? A plus minus 1, isn't it? So, both roots lying in 2 comma 4, we can say that here a is between 1 and 3 and here it is between 3 and 5. Not possible. It means a belongs to 5. Means there is no real value of a for which both roots will lie in the interval 2 comma 4. Now come to the second part. Exactly one root in, exactly one root in which interval 2 comma 4. Find which is the higher root, a plus 1, a minus 1. Exactly one root in 2 comma 4 means what? F of 2 into f of 4 less than 0. F of k1 into f of k2. What is f of 2? 4 minus 4ax plus, 4 minus f of 2 is 4 minus 4a plus a square minus 1 and f of 4 is 16 minus 8a plus a square minus 1. It should be less than 0. a square minus 4a plus 3 into a square minus 8a plus 15 less than 0. Now we have to apply Wavy curve method. Find how to apply Wavy curve method. Roots are 1, 3 and here 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. Okay. Clearly we have this sign scheme less than 0 is here. So we can say that A belongs to 1, 3 union 3, 5. Okay. Now, next example. If 2a plus 3b plus 6c equal to 0, then prove that the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 has a root in 0, 1. See, I was talking about Rolle's theorem, or we can say 10th point of location of roots. Let f of x equal to if you see closely, we have assumed f of x by integrating this expression. Now, what is f of 0? 0. What is f of 1? A by 3 plus b by 2 plus c equal to 2a plus 3b plus 6c by 6. And it is given that 2a plus 3b plus 6c is 0. So, consider point 10th. If f of k1 is equal to f of k2, then the equation f dash x equal to 0 has a root in k1, k2. Since f of 0 is equal to f of 1, therefore f dash x equal to 0 has a root in 0, 1. And what is f dash x? That is, differentiate this, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 has a root in 0, 1. Okay. Now, one more example. If a less than b less than c less than d, then prove that the equation x minus a into x minus b plus 2 into x minus c plus 2 into x minus b into x minus d equal to 0 has distinct real roots. See, we have already seen this question is in nature of roots. Okay. But here it is again different approach we will take. See, f of x is x minus a, x minus c, 2x minus b, x minus d. Now, what is f of a? This is a quadratic equation. Okay. What is the value of f of a? This will be 0. 2 into a minus b into a minus d. Now, can we decide that f of a means this value is positive or negative? Can we decide? See, what is a minus b? A less than b. So, a minus b is negative. And what is a minus d? A is also less than d. It is negative. Okay. So, 2 into negative, it is positive. Now, what is f of b? If we calculate f of b, then this will be 0. And here it is b minus a into b minus c. What is b minus a? Positive. And what is b minus c? Negative. So, f of a is positive, f of b is negative if f of k1 into f of k2. If f of k1 into f of k2 less than 0, then exactly one root in k1 comma k2 for quadratic, isn't it? 8th point of location of roots. Now, implies one root in a comma b. Obviously, that will be real. Now, also, what is f of c? For f of c, this will be 0. 2 into c minus b into c minus d. What is c minus b? Positive. And c minus d? Negative. It is positive. It is negative. And what is f of d? For f of d, this will be 0. d minus a into d minus c. What is a d minus a? Positive, because d is greater than a. Also d is greater than c. So, d minus c will be positive. So, it is positive, greater than 0. So, this implies f of c into f of d is also less than 0. One is negative, one is positive. Here one is positive, one is negative. Product is negative. Here also negative. Implies one root in c comma d. This is a quadratic. One root in a comma b, one root in c comma d. So, can't we say that the roots are real? One is between A and B and other is between C and D. So, they must be real and distinct also, because one is between 2 and 5, other is between 9 and 14. So, distinct. Therefore, roots are real and distinct. Okay. Now, this topic is very much important. You have to practice this, because when you have to apply that differentiation rules theorem result, when this continuity result, or when you have to decide one thing, when you exactly find the roots, we are able to exactly find the value of roots, then it will be easier. Like in the example, x square minus 2x plus a square minus 1 equal to 0. We have found the roots as a plus 1 and a minus 1. But every time you will not be that lucky to find the exact roots. So always try to go from conditions of cases. Always remember conditions are every condition necessary. So solve for all conditions and for final answer take their common reason. Okay, practice this topic with concentration. It is important and confusing also, but if you will practice, then no problem. So do your worksheet for location of roots. Okay, thank you.